A genetic change in a baby chimp leads to the rise of a new empire of apes, as well as unleashing a virus that knocks down the strength of humanity. This movie has a lot of homage to the original movie series. Caesar the chimp leads the uprising, and many single lines are direct quotes. The take on the apes is entirely new, though. Someday, I hope to make time for a systematic review of the original series, so I'm going to leave some of those details for that day. I do need to note that this uprising comes from an entirely different source than the original. Science fiction is often directed at fears of emerging technology. In the original Planet of the Apes, the emerging technology was nuclear. In the new iteration, the emerging technology we are warned about is genetic manipulation. It's hard to tell, but it's entirely possible that the reason we were able to avoid the fate outlined in the original Planet of the Apes series is because of science fiction warnings. This seems to be much less true with genetic manipulation, though. Genetic manipulation is much more precise, and creating inherited changes that aren't ultimately self-destructive is a challenge when the experts are trying to do it on purpose. The idea of creating an artificial superspecies feels laughable after looking at the data. For me, this gets at the heart of a problem I've been passively thinking about for a while, though. In the study of philosophy and ethics, it's difficult to come up with a real definition for free will or choice. What is the difference between a Venus flytrap reacting to the trigger guide hairs and closing a leaf around a fly and the president of a country changing their priorities regarding nuclear research to avoid creating a super weapon that will destroy the world? I think I have an answer. It may not be the answer, but it's at least a step along the path of creating one. The difference is the perception of different possible futures. A flytrap doesn't close its leaf because it anticipates food. It simply closes the leaf because it detects triggers to the guard hairs. Evolution or design, or some combination of the two, has engineered the plant such that this will most often lead to the consumption of food. That said, there's a difference between the way that the flytrap reads its stimulus and a president responds to a request for nuclear disarmament. One of them simply reacts to the stimulus. The other seeks one future and avoids another. To make an example, if we were to imagine a briefcase with the secret plans for the nuclear program of a country and another briefcase full of the president's first-grade math papers. Both weigh the same. Both look the same. Both smell the same. Yet one of them the president guards one and not the other. He doesn't just want to avoid the plans getting out. He wants to avoid the future that comes from the plans getting out. What's more, he isn't just reacting to something he's seen before. The plans have never gotten out before, but he imagines, rightly or wrongly, that his country will be harmed if the secrets in one briefcase get out much more than if the secrets in the other get out. They want the future that has the security they imagine. They respond to their idea of the future, not just a stimulus. If the president became convinced that no leaked plans would move his enemies towards nuclear war, he would care much less who got the plans for their technical advancement and nuclear deployment. It's no change to the briefcase. It's no change to the environment. It isn't based on anything the president has seen in the past. It's just a change to the idea of what future will come about. What do you think? Is this a good way to understand what free will really is? Or do you have a better idea? Let me know in the comments of my blog.